So today I am reading unpopular book opinions. Uh, gonna try and go through this list without. I think I've read the first two, but I'm gonna try and go through and react without reading them first. The first one is a movie can be better than the book. I want to say I can agree with this. I do not think it's common. The only book I will say the book I do like more than the movie is Lord of the Rings. I like the book. I've read it once. I've been audio listening to it, and it's both are great. Both are great. I just think the book there's a lot, and it can be very confusing. So in that one, I would rather watch the movie than read the books. I think that's the only one, but I guess I'm gonna agree with it because I can think of one. Um, the next one, men should read more romance books, and this is okay. Um, I mean, I think they should give it a shot. If they don't like it, I don't think they should keep reading romance books. Yeah, I think they could give romance books a shot. I think they should. I think you should give every genre a try. Okay, next one. Physical books are not superior to digital books. I disagree. Honestly, I started getting into a reading slump because of trying to read a digital book. I like physically flipping through the pages. I like that my phone or computer is not distracting me. I don't really like screens. I actually wear glasses when I look at screens, and I don't enjoy it as much. I disagree. I like a physical book. I want a physical book. Okay, this one says my controversial opinion is that an adaptation of a book does not have to be exactly the same. They're completely different mediums, and sometimes the way the author writes something doesn't work as well in live action. Okay, so that okay. Um, I mean, I get why that if movies change things, um, if movies like do things differently. They don't have to be the exact same. I mean, fine, they don't have to be the exact same, but I think it's more well liked if it is, and I like it if it is. Like I will say, Harry Potter, in the last book, they do one, they add something to the movie that I do like better than the book, but that's not like a normal. I would rather them stick to the book most of the time. Um, I get why they change it, and it doesn't usually like completely tick me off or anything. But I would say I don't really agree. I think they should keep it to the same. Okay. Next, unpopular opinion is Harry Potter doesn't need more stories or spin offs. I don't need to know what Hufflepuffs do on their spare time. I really like the Harry Potter series. I will say I'm usually not a fan of like spin-offs and stuff with movies and stuff anyways. Books like I usually don't like when they add stuff, so I can agree with that. I don't necessarily think Harry Potter um needs more stories. I think it's if I mean if people like them, they're gonna make them. If people watch them, they're gonna make them. I would if something comes out, I'll probably give it a try. But yeah, I'm not usually a big fan of going and watching spin-offs, especially if they're not written like by the same people. I'm like, I'm not a fan. But yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. I definitely don't think it needs too much. I would say though, and I know people might screw with this. I know some people hate this, but I do want to reread. I want to read The Cursed Child. That's a something I would still give a shot. Okay. Next, unpopular opinion is I hate when books bring real world shit like cor- coronavirus, Trump, etc. into the plot. I mean, I think it's fine if they're trying to write like about what's happening, or even just trying to hint at like make an opinion. I think it's fine. I mean, I mostly like fantasy books, so I don't usually read that stuff. But if it's added in, I don't mind it. I think it's fine. Okay. Next, unpopular opinion. Books based on TV shows like Supernatural, Star Trek, The Next Generation, Monk, and more that are half the size of standard paperback and read like an episode of a show, but with new stories, not an actual episode in book form, are completely worth relaxing with and are the best kind of vacation, airplane, beach, and poolside reads. I have no experience with this. I've read the 100 books, but I don't think it's the same type of thing this is talking about. Yeah, I don't think it's the same thing this is talking about, so I have no experience with this, so I really don't have an opinion. Okay, next unpopular opinion. I hate when the book cover is changed to match the film or show based on it. I like imagining the characters, not having an actor chose to invade my ideas of the book. Okay, I can agree with this. Yeah, I think they should keep the original cover. I don't think it should be based off of the movie, but I think that catches people's eye more. Like if I feel like more people will notice it, more people pick it out. So I get why they do it. I can agree though. I don't think they should change it. I will say mine are based off of all of my books are are or most of them are based off of the shows, the ones that I have or movies. I just I got them late, so that's what I could find. But yeah, I can agree with that definitely, and I don't actually think that's an unpop. I do not think that is an unpopular opinion. I think that's a pretty popular. Okay, trying to read as many books as possible month year to purely hit a number is missing the entire point of reading. This I can agree with. Honestly, after doing my TBR, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to finish it, but I like to read to enjoy. So yeah, I don't want to just read to hit a number. I am trying to not do that, and I feel like I've been trying to not do that. Um, hasn't I don't know if it's necessarily helped. I mean, I think it's more just when I get into a slump, I stay in that slump longer. Yeah, I can agree with that. I do think that is kind of missing the point of reading. It's to enjoy, and I do like to sometimes take my time on books. So yeah, I definitely think my TBR is kind of gonna be wishy-washy this month, and my next TBR, I don't. I'm probably not gonna do TBRs like I did last time. I'm probably just gonna like for my next one, especially. I'm probably gonna be like, you know what? I'm reading these. That's what sounds interesting right now. But yeah, I can agree with that. Um, okay, next unpopular opinion. Sometimes the books aren't good, but the characters and concepts are. That is my unpopular opinion. Okay, so the book isn't good, but the characters and concepts are. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that's. I don't know if I agree with that unpopular opinion. I think if you have good characters and concepts, that would be a good book. I guess if it's not relayed right, I could see them. I could see what they're saying. I will say, and I've talked about a lot. The Mortal Engine series. Don't like the characters, but I really like the concept. I like the story. So yeah, I can see that. And I think if I know what they're talking about, like maybe the plot just like the ideas are good, the characters are good, but they're not getting to the point. I could see that. I understand that one. Yeah, I can agree with that, I think, if that's what they mean. Okay, The Hobbit is a better book than any of the trilogy. I actually don't think that's an unpopular opinion. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. Um, I've read both. I don't know if I can really agree or disagree though. I feel like I would have to give them another read to really decide. Actually, I really liked the first The Fellowship of the Rings. I think I liked that book a lot. So I don't know. I might disagree because I don't. I read The Hobbit. I didn't really remember necessarily enjoying it. Like I didn't dislike it, but it wasn't like my favorite. Um, yeah, I don't know, but I don't actually think that's an unpopular one. That The Hobbit is a better book than the trilogy. Um, sorry, I'm seeing some of these and I already know. Like just looking, I won't be able to react to it. Okay, offering incentives to get kids to read is a fantastic idea that should be brought back. Um, so they explain like the whole um, the way the points worked, and like to get kids to read. I do think it's a good idea. Um, based off of where I've like worked with kids and where I've lived, it's still done today. It's not. I mean, I think it's done less, and I wish it was done a little bit more. But yeah, I think it was great. I don't. For me, it didn't really help. I actually still didn't get into books. Like, I would have to find a good book, but even the incentives, like, I think they needed better incentives. But yeah, I guess it has gone down some because I've done some subbing, and it's gone down some, but it's not. It's still there. I just think they need to do a better job of it. Okay. Unpopular opinion: utopian fiction is more interesting than dystopian fiction. I'm trying to think of a utopian book I've read. Let me see if I can, if I Google the word, because I've probably read some. I don't know if I've actually read any utopian books, and I mean, if I have, I can't think of it. So I'm gonna go with I disagree with that. That I like dystopian books more because I have two or three genres that are dystopian, maybe four. So I'm gonna go with I disagree with that. That I like dystopian books more. But I don't think I've actually given utopian books a try. So maybe I should do that. Um, okay, so this one's it's really long, so I'm just gonna give you the gist. This unpopular opinion is that you should reread books. Um, that there's a lot of reasons to reread a book. that they don't like when people don't reread books because the people are like, oh, I could just read a different book though, which I agree with. I think you should reread books. I mean, if it's like I get certain books I wouldn't reread, but a lot of books I want to reread. That's why I want to take January and reread all the books. So, but yeah, I understand. I understand why some books you would not reread, but I agree that you should reread books. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion though. I thought that was pretty popular. Um, okay, I like this. So, this unpopular opinion is just because you have criticism about the book, it doesn't mean you don't like or think the whole thing. It does not mean you do not like it or think the whole thing is crap. Just because I found a plot hole in the book doesn't mean I'm hating the book. It just means I found a plot hole in the book. I can agree with that. I didn't know that that was like an unpopular opinion. But yeah, I can agree with that. Actually, my husband's he's read the Harry Potters a lot. He's read them, I think, 4 times this year. And yeah, he's been coming up to me. He's like, I found a plot hole, or I found another plot hole. So that's great. And I think, you know what? I still really like the Harry Potter series. And yeah, there's a couple plot holes that I've noticed. Especially in the movies, there's a lot. But in the books, and it's just, yeah, I think it's funny that but yeah, I don't think that means you hate the book. You just saw something that is wow. That's fine. I Puffles don't. If there's a ton, fine. But if there's like an occasional one, I'm like, it's kind of not making sense. It doesn't ruin the book for me, and it bothers me when it does. Okay. Next unpopular opinion: hardcover books are just not as good as paperback. I think I mostly agree with that. Okay, here's the thing. There's upsides and downsides to each. Paperback, pretty flimsy, which sometimes I like reading when they're like that, but sometimes it's a little too flimsy, easy to damage. Hardcovers, harder to damage, heavier though. And like I like to read in the tub or like when I read, I'm holding it. And so yeah, hardbacks are heavier, so there's the downside. Digital, you're staring at a screen, which I don't like, and yeah, definitely can be harder to read digitally. You can't like smell the book, you can't hold it, you're holding a screen. I don't like doing that. So yeah, there are pros and cons to each one. I think more people like paperback than hardcover. I have some of both. I usually just get the paperback because it's cheaper. But I mean, I definitely like hardcovers too. I think big books I would not want a hardcover, but when it's like Wonder, I have hardback. Tale Despero hardback. So yeah, I do have one of the Twilight books in hardback. So once I read that, it's the last one I haven't read yet. If I read that, I might discover hardbacks are okay with bigger books. But yeah, I can definitely agree. There are times when I would rather have a paperback than hardback. Okay, last one. Unpopular opinion: reading while walking is one of the greatest pleasures in life, and it is a superior way to read. Find a nice flat park with wide lanes and no open manholes, like potholes. Okay. Um, reading while walking. I don't. I mean, I'm fine with reading while walking. I've definitely done it. I usually sit though. I like to like sit outside, sit in different places. Um, yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, but I don't know if I've tried enough. Might need to go try that sometime. Walking while reading a book. Yeah, okay, I could try that. I've definitely done it. I remember I used to, so I said I didn't read much in school, which is true, I did not. However, occasionally I would find a really good book or book series that I liked. And I do remember I would read in between like the hallway and like when we were still with the class. And this guy, he would always make sure all the doors would be open for me. And like I would never respond right then, but I'd always say something later. I'd be like, "Hey, thanks for keeping the door open," or "Thanks for like he jumped in front of me one time to open the door." And yeah, I mean, I think I can walk and read, and I think I don't know. I would. It would be hard to find a place though for me because I'm a little bit of a klutz. Okay, but those are some unpopular opinions. Um, and I reacted. Besides, like the first two, I reacted to them without reading them first. Um, if you guys have any unpopular opinions, you can comment down below. If you think, because like I said, there's some that I don't think are actually unpopular opinions that I talked about. If you guys don't think if you think they were not unpopular opinions and they're actually popular, you can comment down below too to let me know. Like and subscribe for more videos, for more video content, and turn on that bell to know when I actually post the video so you get a notification. Yeah, please subscribe um, if you enjoyed this content. Bye!